consciousazine.com Chronicles.
Hi, alright, so finally I found a picture that's pretty much the picture I wanted to find. I got taught this risk management strategies back when I was studying a diploma of sports management years and years ago. Actually, I could teach pro athletes if I really got into it. I used to be a runner, but I just love to surf these days and sort of just keep fit by being out in nature. Anyway, so I finally found this picture, which is risk management strategies, and this is how we can also manage organic portals. Your body is the business that we're trying to analogize to. This is for businesses, yeah, how a business might avoid risks. Okay, so we're going to change that to, in the organic portal theme, instead of risks, well, yeah, it's risky to be confused, altered, and attacked, and led astray, and distracted from your path, so to speak. So we're going to replace risk with, still though, so it is risky, but we're going to replace it with that your body is the business, and you're trying to manage your great work, your magnus opus. You're trying to focus your magnus opus, your great work. That's why you came to Earth. You didn't come to Earth just to battle OPs. You didn't come to, you're generally the universe trying to move forward if you're a soul seeker. Anyway, so we're going to put, it's like energy attack management strategies. Let's change it to that, okay? In the context of the OPs, or organic portals. The spiritless humans, who thus, because spirits incarnate on behalf of soul, are not soulful humans by default. But I call them spiritless humans, and I think that is the update we kind of need, because I'm going to show you how we can end-spirit humans. Yeah, that's right, psychedelic entheogens. They're not called entheogens for no reason. Actually, they're just like the real smart plants of the world, or something, that have decided to talk or something. They're the asymptotic plants, the psychedelics, And so I'm going to have a video on how to soul a human, and yes, psychedelics are definitely part of it. Anyway, and we'll go through it. I know enough about it. So, in the energy attack spectrum, where they try and insert viruses into ill vibrations, which fuck up your systems, buffer overloads. Just imagine your body as cyborgicus, organicus, or, and that's what they are. The organic portals are only their body. We are all this. We're made of, it's like they're made of denser stuff than us. And like McKenna said, I liked when he said that. Yeah, it's like they're just the body, and there's no mindedness there. I call the soul mind pretty much what the the Taoists have figured out, the 3 Danjen system, or the 3 major body minds, which is the gut brain, the heart brain, and the crystal room up in the head. The brain, the limbic system, third eye of Horus diagram, basically. And so, what was we saying? We was talking about the OPs and managing their energy attacks. Okay, so there's transference. That's interesting. That's like if you psychically battle them and press your chi PSI out. That's right, your body has a PSI, like a tyre on a car, pressure per square inch, and you can go watch Muntuk Chia, the famous Chi instructor on YouTube, and he'll show you about Chi PSI, and it's called, I think, Chi Gung iron shirt or something, and because when you have your PSI up, it's like an iron barrier. It's like a full barrier to energy attacks, so that they don't actually get into your DNA. It's about not letting their energy attack with the virus into your DNA, because they're there to change the vibration of you and your DNA, yeah? Okay, so that's what organic portals are ultimately doing on behalf of the Matrix, you know, and the dark stars, or the dark side, you know? Basically. And they're trying to, you know, stop the flow of the universe. Alright, let's get back to this. Let's not go that deep into it. So we can transfer, which is, you might, and it crosses over with reduction, transference, and avoidance a bit. Oh yeah, and you're accepting you're being attacked. Anyway. No, it crosses over with reduction, the transference. Say you're psychically pushed back at, like, energy attacks and stuff. You know, obviously that's under reduction, connecting to it. But let's talk about them separately. So yeah, that might be the psychic pushing back. When I used to be at university, it was really bad. You know, and I haven't really worked since or anything. I definitely don't want to be part of society at this time anyway, or most of society anyway. I haven't found a good workplace yet. So I'd rather work for myself, for all of you, and that you guys just donate, you see. And so I get crowd-funded to do my great work. And that's the idea, for all of us to do that, actually. That'd be the best way. Anyway, so the transference can be also transferring the frequency ranges to music. So when they're trying to attack you, when you're walking around the street and they mimic a chakra, you know, then you've got to go into that chakra and push from that chakra out. Say it's the crown. They're trying to always attack the ecstasy of the crown, often because that's where they can stop all of your flow, and then you're disconnected. You may be even standing on the ground, but if they get your ecstasy away, you shut yourself off from your crown, and then you shut off that circular connection to the cosmos. Or they can attack your root too, but that's why I was just talking about the crown, because it happens a lot. They do it that way a lot, because that depresses all your chakras back down, and so they attack your crown a lot at the start. They try and gain your attention of your third eye, yeah? That's them starting to attack your crown, and then they try and depress the energy. They'll, like, put waves of dense energy projected at your aura, basically. Now, people will say they know what they're doing, but I'd say that they don't know what they're doing, because I've snapped them out of it. And people go, oh, what? Literally, I've snapped OP behavior out of even souled humans. Now, this is a type of behavioral cross-current to the flow of the river light of the universe, yeah? That's the point here. It's very deep like that. So you can't talk about organic portals like having different noses and shit like this. These are shit-brained theories from that Edwin something channel on YouTube. That's shit-brained theory. Anyway, so we can transfer, you know, you can transfer their attack by having music. Now, a lot of people are walking around with music in their ear. That can do it because you keep your attention within yourself, like that Baby Driver in that movie, what's it called, you know, where he's the bank robber driver, and he listens to all the music all the time. He's a really good driver, that new movie. I think it's called Baby Driver. Anyway, so people are doing that, you know, and people will call them zombies, but a lot of them people are not zombieing. A lot of those people with earphones in and listening to music on the street, not looking at you, are trying to avoid you fucking energy stealing them. And I don't do it, but yeah, I can't afford an iPod yet. That'll be one of the next things I buy in the coming years. So I'd like to be one of those people. I don't want to pay attention to the energy stealing twits that need to judge me every little thing I'm wearing. It's so fucked up. So yeah, anyway. And, you know, transference can actually happen with the crystals. You've got people like Left Side of Brain on YouTube saying that you get migraines when you wear crystals around OPs because they reflect your energy. And I thought, oh yeah, that's a really good point there. And I've had the migraine he's talking about. However, that's when your crown is shut down, I've realised. If you take off your shoes, start standing on ground and roll your eye up, your third eye up, and start projecting to the stars, and, you know, do your crown stuff, your crown chakra stuff, and open up again and push through, you can actually not avoid the migraine. But there is, and then they'll try and attack your nervous system. You have to have your chi PSI to stop that, like a invisible field, force field barrier. That's what the chi energy PSI, or pressure per square inch, Chi Kung iron shirt method does. Pushes them off your nervous system a lot. Now, the nervous system is one way to get the vibrations onto you to start the breakdown of the whole body system so that they can touch the DNA. The DNA is their ultimate goal, to get in there with the bad vibration, which is like a virus, to stop you at your core. You know, because your DNA is holding a lot of these codes. Then the stars come with their high vibration. They interact with your cerebrospinal fluid, your pineal, all this business. So, and the cellular level, you know, gamma ray bursts and all this, and X-ray bursts. Okay, so avoidance, you know, you can just avoid it, which is a huge strategy I play these days, because it's easy. But then you won't learn as much. I learnt a lot doing a lot of transferring in university because I was stuck there. I had no choice. The universe was teaching me all about it, you know. So I understand this organic portal phenomena from experience a lot, from 5 fucking years in the university. Anyway, so the avoidance, you can also do the avoidance, and, you know, you can just not go around. Then you become, you know, like a bit of a withdrawn, paranoid schizophrenic, but, but, you know, it's part of our indigo evolution, though, so don't panic too much. You can manage it. So, and then you can, let's talk about, well, okay, let's talk about more avoidance. So you can, I better think about how to connect this to my other videos, I guess. Ways to avoid. Yeah, well, they try and get you with little things, you know, like there's a lot of surface behavior in organic portal world. And they just try and get me a lot with cleaning stuff, like, to perfection. And then they don't do the same to other people, like at the moment where I'm living. And, you know, there's a lot of this picking on you. It's part of targeting, yeah. It's the matrix targeting you. Part of the, you know, the targeting stuff everyone's talking about. So you can avoid it by just avoid going out there. You can avoid the electronic harassment part of it by obviously VPNs, virtual private networks, and stuff like this, using Tor network and the Onion network, stuff like that. But, you know, just think about avoidance. So just, you know, after this video is finished, you go through your own life and go through these strategies and write down a list under each subheading. Okay, so acceptance. You can just accept it and relax, and it is a strategy, and laugh about it, and make sure to project the laughter towards them and be laughing at them. I know it sounds cruel, but I've seen it work a few times for me. They get really angry and they stop, because it's not them, remember, they're an organic portal, they're a passive entity, they're a portal for the, I don't know, the grey alien, the reptilian, the Archon energy to come through. Okay, so that's the point. The demons are sitting in them like they're the robots that the demon is inside the head, sort of controlling. So you can accept it and laugh, you know, and realize when it's happening, and sometimes this will work. And because the laughter actually, if you do a proper belly laugh, it'll fully vibrate each Dan Gen, your gut brain, your heart brain, and your crystal room clear, and your nervous system. So you know, stop them getting vibratorily into you, and sneak attacking and Trojan horsing and virusing you on your nervous system and on your cellular DNA level. They try and cause all sorts of havoc. They're the ones responsible for the shitty food around. Notice how crap the food is. And they're all eating the same shit too. So anyway, reduction. Superfood revolution, please. Anyway, reduction. So the reduction, you know, you can do, well, obviously it connects to all the other 3 strategies, but make up your own little list under the subheading, if I were you. Even in your head, if you don't want to write it down, but a lot of people say writing it down manifests better, and I agree. It seems to save it in you better. in your DNA. So reduction. And that's how you program yourself and stop them programming you as well. Focus on shit like this and get serious about it. So reduction. All these methods we've talked about. Let's talk about more. Being grounded. That came straight to mind. If you're fully anionized, you've got full alkaline chi flow. And if you're, in very positive charge accretion from, say, sitting on the computer for weeks on end, and you haven't grounded barefoot on earth, or you do not even have a negatively charged grounding technology mat or something, then you're up shit creek without a paddle when you interact with OPs because you're weak and you've already got static for them to superposition entangle with. Okay, and that's how it works. Because I've noticed through the bacterial ley line I have from a tooth that I've finally got out now, and I'm killing all these bacteria, but I've noticed through that ley line on the left of my side that they attack me there first. They attack you where you're weakest and lowest vibration first, and then they bring the rest down to that point, and they flatten you, as I've said before, on the second dimension. Then they can access your higher dimensionality and really get into you, but they have to flatten you first. And to flatten you on the surface first, stop you dreaming, basically, you'll notice your third eye will roll down into the third dimension, and roll down into body and look down through the chakras instead of up through the crown. Up true to crown, yeah. So there's lots of ways to reduce this just by grounding. It's like this overarching axiom of health, grounding. Negative charge, yes, it's about negative charge and anionization instead of cationization. Okay, you don't want the cationization, the positive. You want the anionization, and we get this by standing barefoot on earth the best and quickest and most thoroughest, and you also get other informational higher dimensionally embedded light and codes and stuff, yeah? So you need to actually be on the earth. You can't just use the grounding technologies. That's for like if you're busy riding and you can't go outside, you're not going to go to the beach that day, get on your grounding mat. But that's not your continuous strategy. Okay? So that's a massive reduction. When I am really anionized and I'm totally negatively charged and my thyroid is full and pumped up with it, and my field is emanating stronger, and I'll also be drinking water and tea on the way to my alkaline expansion, because anionization or negative charge is the ultimate alkalinity. People like David Wolf know that, and he has videos on that too. I agree. It's like the ultimate alkalization when you ground. You'll notice that you can turn acidic after a few weeks of no grounding at all. And people, remember, there's people out there that don't ground ever. Like, they were just inside and stuff. So that's why I have that video, organic portal explanation for organic portals, where I do the little diagram in paint, and I put the aura on the person who's the soul human and the shoes on the OP, because that is very relative. Like, if you want to do surface correlations, it's not about facial features and stuff. If you want to surface correlate to OPs, the only way you can do it is by like calcified pineal, because hence that stops inner light scintillation, so that's obviously inferred as part of it, obviously. And you have to go those sorts of surface descriptors. You can't just say, oh, all organic portals have this type of nose. Then you're doing what people do when they say they can read everyone by their body language. You can't read me by my body language all the time, especially not when you're fully flowing in chi. It's harder. But I can also throw off body language that isn't like what I'm truly thinking. So no, that theory is like bogus. That's surface viewing. Things are not as they seem. The people who think that everything is as it seems are the surface people, and they only view the surface with the surface. There is no other part of reality. There are no higher dimensions for them. They say, prove it, because I don't experience it. Well, unlucky to you. I experience the higher dimensions. Unlucky. Anyway, I don't have to prove nothing. I'm just in my ecstasy, experiencing it. It's for you to catch up to if you don't experience it. And, you know, I do give consultations to people, so... Anyway, reduction and anionization and aquasization, which means watering. You know, water yourself like a plant. Your magnetic field will be able to penetrate deeper into the universe, hence you can then pull more chi and jing and so forth energy. You have a stronger jing energy container. Jing comes before chi, remember? So it's all about that, really. Yeah, eat higher vibrational food, eat a lot of green leaves, definitely, and like, you know, celery and shit, stuff like that, obviously. The higher vibrational food helps because it helps that the whole coherence, less inflammation, because if you've got a real inflamed body, eating meat and bread all the time, you actually got more static around in your body. That's, again, like I mentioned, something for them to entangle with and first grab you. The more static you have on you, the easier they can grab you, flatten you, and then psychically attack you and virus you. Now remember, they're organic portals. They're just like the surface. They're not there. They're not all there. And they're easy for the matrix to take over. And for those energies, the low vibrations, to take over. That's really how you need to see it. Just, it's their low vibration. Start seeing on that level of it. Forget all this other like stuff about noses and all this crap. It's not going to teach you anything. You need to start feeling this energetically in the fourth dimension, because the war is being played out on the fourth dimension. It's transacted on the fourth dimension via your emotionality, and that's why they're always trying to... For me, they know they can get me emotional real easy, so an attack they attack me with a lot is emotional attacks, trying to rev me up and get me angry. You know, and anger is a bit of a path to the dark side, and, you know, I've learnt a lot of just... that they would not... I haven't learnt a lot, I've learnt one simple thing, that they will keep being idiots, so just, you know, like Jesus said, of Nazareth, that dude, he said, forgive them, they know not what they do, and that's the best way to heal yourself and get reduction from organic portal management and attacks. Okay? So there's a few ways to reduce, accept, avoid, and transfer. And it says or share. Now, yeah, that's enough. Let's just go back over that transfer strategy of avoidance, of management of the energy attacks and risk management. The transference, I didn't go into the or sharing. So you could share it, which is what we're doing here, talking about it. Okay, making videos about it. Even if I don't agree with your video, everything you say in it, I'm very happy that people are making videos on organic portals just in general. Put up what you think, definitely, for sure, because that's soul-seeking, and, you know, people will comment and teach you things and stuff like that. You'll also get the idiots. And they're always going to be there. I like Dennis McKenna's quote, Terence McKenna from the Time Waves Brothers quote. We're going to end on this. Maybe. As the sphere of understanding is always expanding, there's a sphere of understanding that is always expanding, but did you notice that the surface area of ignorance grows necessarily larger because it's expanding? That's a great quote by Dennis McKenna. I like that one. So yeah, you know, don't get bogged down and be like, oh, I'm leaving the planet forever, like, I'm totally not going to ensoul here anymore. Well, you might not have a choice, dude. You know, you might have to ensoul here again. So, like, the whole point of this thing is not to be distracted by them in any way, and that could be a distraction method, in my opinion, because perhaps, you know, you're some kind of circular central gold ring soul that incarnates and always, or, you know, quite often in many lives is helping the progression. And maybe you have to come back because you're not really who you think you are, you're more the planet. And maybe it's the planet's choice or someone else. G.O.D., Mr. G.O.D., man. Maybe it's not up to you and your id. Because that's your spiritual ego saying, oh, I'm going to leave this planet, I'm not... All these starseeds right now are going, oh, I'm not coming back to Earth after this time. after this carnation. Well, maybe you don't have a choice, eh? Dude and dudettes? Fuck. Seriously, it's beyond me what some of you think sometimes. What are you saying, that the id, the ego of your light body, yeah, it has the choice above? No, what I'm saying is it doesn't have the choice above everything else. And we're only at the start of law of attraction. We're only just out of the passive creation as creators, so don't get, too ahead of yourself. For your own good, not for, yeah, and for my good too. But I was going to say I don't care, but I do, because we're in the same world. So the more you focus on your great work, and that's the point I'm trying to lay down, not to be avoidant. Don't go full in on this strategy and go, well, I'm leaving the planet, I'm not incarnating here again. I don't like organic portal universe. No, that's an avoidance strategy, but, are you really going to put all your eggs in one basket, you might say, Okay, think about it a little bit deeper, dudes. See you later. Enjoy.